how you can increase your online conversions. Take it away.
Thank you, Ken. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can increase your online marketing conversions. So first I want to start really building a solid foundation for us here, because I think it's kind of easy to get lost a little bit in the technical aspects of online marketing, such as how much money you're spending on Facebook ads, PPC strategies, and SEO strategies. And while, of course, these are very important to know, we also need to be coming from a strong foundation of online marketing in order for you to really see results. You want to see immediate trackable results with your online conversions. So today, I'm going to give you arguably the best kept secret in marketing to do this. And with that, I'm also going to give you 3 methods that you can implement right away that are going to give you those immediate results. So first, I want to talk a little bit about the new client journey. So this is just a kind of a simple infographic here about the new client journey. So your potential clients are going to begin by researching. They're going to research whether or not they think they even need legal services. They're going to be researching different firms and different attorneys. And they want to build up that strong knowledge base before they take any kind of action. So this is a key step in the customer journey. From there, they're going to move on to reviewing. So this would include looking at your About Us page on your website, your attorney profiles, as well as any testimonials or other forms of social proof you may have. From here, they're going to make a decision. They're going to decide which law firm they want to go with, which attorney they want to go with. And from there, you'll notice that this is the longest loop around from choice to contacting you, which would be your first online conversion. And this just goes to show how long that process actually takes. So there has been some new research by Lead Forensics that has found it takes up to 32 different touch points in your marketing to actually convert an online lead, which is a pretty large number, right? So it just goes to show how important utilizing different marketing aspects in your online marketing campaign is. And from there, you'll notice there are 2 different conversions on this map. The first one would be filling out a contacting you form or contacting your office to set up an appointment. And then the next one, of course, is going to be them purchasing your services, deciding that, yes, I want you as my attorney, I want you to take my case. And from there, they're going to move on to intake, or however your firm handles new clients. So now to build that strong foundation, what does it really mean when we say online marketing? Really what online marketing is all about is analyzing, predicting, and understanding human behavior. Now this is really key, and it's an important foundation to build off of. So you're trying to understand your clients. Where are they in their journey? What are they thinking? What are their concerns? You want to understand their mindset, because that's going to allow you to predict their action through the customer journey. So this is going to allow you to process map a much more successful online marketing campaign. And then, of course, analyzing that behavior. So utilizing methods like Google Analytics to make sure that your predictions are lining up with what's actually happening. So now on to the bigger picture of what we mean by lead conversion. Really what a lead conversion comes down to is using understanding and building trust with your potential clients. So this is why I'm a big proponent of educational-based marketing and ethical marketing practices. Because in the United States, we like to have a lot of knowledge before we decide to take action, before we decide to purchase anything. And so if you could really educate your potential clients, give them good free content to get them in your sales funnel, and then you want to utilize those 32 steps to build trust with them. And that's ultimately what's going to increase your online conversions. So now I have a little bit of a story to tell you. Many years ago now, I decided to take a fun elective class in college, something that I thought would just be, for fun, kind of an easy class. And that class was cultural anthropology. And like most people, I thought this is what it looked like. Studying faraway people in faraway places, or better yet, how many of you have seen Indiana Jones? A few of you? Yeah, my husband loves these movies. So I thought this is what anthropology was, and man, was I wrong. So, 4 to 5 months later, after I left those lecture halls, I realized that single class had completely changed my life. and how I viewed the world. And I had already been in the marketing field at that point, so it was something that even changed who I was as a marketer and the kind of marketing strategies that I utilized. And it's something that I don't think is talked about enough in marketing. Like I said, we tend to get lost in kind of the technical aspects of it, but that human point is like really essential. And if you could build your foundation from this point, you're going to increase your conversions by a lot. So anthropology asks the big questions. What does it mean to be human? And how this relates is, what does this say about how we take action in different cultures, and especially in the United States, and how we respond to marketing? This is where it all stems from. You want to understand your audience to the best of your ability in order to help them on their customer journey, because ultimately that's what's going to convert them. So the best kept secret I talked about, corporate anthropology. Now, this is a subfield of cultural anthropology, and it's up and coming, and I think it's going to be pretty huge. Just like we have psychology and sales now that we utilize to try to understand individual perspectives and decisions, anthropology takes a little bit more of a macro approach. So it's actually looking at how those individuals are embedded in human culture, and it finds these threads that connect them all. So these are threads that you can analyze. You know, you can kind of predict how they're going to move through your sales funnel. So really, this is all about establishing the firm foundation for your marketing efforts by looking at who you are really marketing to. Not just the individuals, but the culture that they're embedded in and how that actually affects their purchasing decisions. So this is a great quote by a corporate anthropologist named Dr. Michael Henderson, and he says, "As a corporate anthropologist, I spend thousands of hours each year educating my clients in the three motivating forces at work within human culture that drives all behaviors." So right, all behaviors. This includes seeking legal services. This includes the research into your legal services and choosing an attorney. The first one is control, the primal need to be in charge of vital resources such as time, energy, money, health, information, and destination. So, right, your clients feel a lack of control right now. That's why they're likely seeking legal services, is for help navigating that process. And they want control in the sense that they want to feel like it's their decision that they're making, that they have the most knowledge that they can in order to actually make that action step of using you as their attorney. The second point up here is relate. Wanting to relate to and receive relating gestures from others to effectively and deeply connect and belong. And so this comes back to that bigger picture aspect of what online marketing really is. It's about using, understanding, and building trust with your potential clients. And by understanding, you're touching on one of these two of three, essential human behaviors that we all have, which is to feel like we relate to others. And the third point is develop. The need or desire to change, grow, adapt, innovate, ideate, and invent. So this is going to help you really understand your customer, client avatar, and the culture they inhabit. And it is absolutely necessary for nurturing leads, increasing lead conversions, cases, and your profits. Now, your ideal clients, they all have values, beliefs, and interests that can be analyzed, tracked, and utilized to improve your marketing efforts. So now I've given you kind of an abstract concept of utilizing corporate anthropology in your marketing efforts. So I want to give you some bite-sized pieces of ways you can actually implement this right away. These are going to be methods you can go home as soon as you get back from Vegas and put into effect. And I guarantee you're going to see immediate results if you take these action steps. So method number one, your customer client avatar. Anthropology and your customer avatar. Who are you really trying to reach? Now, many of you have probably heard of the concept of a customer avatar. So these look at things such as who your audience really is. Who is your potential client? Generally, what gender are they? What age are they? What jobs do they have? What interests do they have? But anthropology really takes this a step further. And it looks at not just the individuals, but what culture they inhabit. And it looks at those cultural threads. So I was lucky enough to do research with a prominent cultural anthropologist named Dr. Atwood Gaines, and he conducted over 40 years of field research on self-identity in the United States and how that affects our behaviors and our marketing actions. So 2 important concepts to your customer avatar that relate to his research are looking at the larger culture. So he coined the term Usonian identity. Now, many of us use American when we talk about the United States culture, generally speaking, but he pointed out that, there's North America and South America, so American isn't actually really accurate to describe that. So Usonian is a better term for talking about our larger culture here in the United States. And another key component he discovered is the indexical person. So in the United States, we refer to ourselves and others in very abstract terms. So for example, when we're asked, what's Paul like? We'll say, oh, he's knowledgeable, he's intelligent, he's kind, he's understanding. Well, these are pretty abstract terms, but that's how our minds work, generally speaking, in the United States. And in many other cultures, through his research, he actually discovered that they tend to be referential persons, which means when they're asked, hey, what's Paul like? They say, oh, he came over and he planted my whole garden for me last weekend, and now it's beautiful. So they use example terms in their relationships with others to form their self-identities. And the reason that this is important to your marketing efforts is because if you know that who you're marketing to, your audience, are indexical persons, Usonians, you can reframe all of your copywriting to make sure that your messaging is really getting through to them. So of course, you want to keep utilizing your testimonial examples of successful clients that you've had in the past, but make sure that you still incorporate these abstract terms because that's how your audience is really thinking. So generally, the Usonian culture, our culture here, we tend to be more individualized. We refer to others and self in abstract terms. We tend to be more suspicious and believe in knowledge and freedom of choices, and so require 32 touch points to convert. So this just goes to show really the importance of putting out your education-based marketing, understanding your client, and building that trust with them. We're kind of inundated these days with marketing all around us, so it's really important to utilize these strategies. So this means that your client avatar should have these bigger cultural conceptions, as well as the individualized conceptions that you're probably familiar with, such as their demographic, their age, and the like. Also, you want to include their values and beliefs, and you want to try to empathize as much as you can with them. What is their day like from the time they get up and have their cup of coffee to the time they put their head down at the pillow? And this is going to help you craft your marketing process campaign in a much more successful way. So by utilizing a client avatar that includes these bigger cultural conceptions, you can create a targeted audience and funnel your online marketing channels according to predicted human behavior. So you're going to want to educate, inform, empathize, and understand in order to convert your online leads. This builds trust, and as I mentioned in the beginning, trust is ultimately what we mean by online conversion. That's the point where they're trusting you with their case. They're making the decision to run with you. So this is an example of an online marketing process map, and I highly recommend doing this for all of your online marketing strategies. This kind of takes the bigger picture of how a lead is actually going to funnel through your marketing. And this doesn't just cover one aspect, such as PPC or SEO or your social media. It covers all of the aspects, and it's really comprehensive. And I love this because it's going to allow you to actually predict that human behavior. Say, okay, they're going to enter in here on the left. They're going to say yes or no. They're going to engage or not with this ad, and then they're going to funnel through this way. So method number 2, process mapping according to the culture. Anthropology and the human connection, why online marketing needs to be more than online marketing. So where are these 32 touch points that I talked about most effective? So remember that the first customer journey infographic I showed you was rather simple, right? This is what they really normally look like. They're very complex. And this kind of is a good visualization of the 32 touch points, right? Ideal clients, they can jump all over the place, interact all over the place. So this is why process mapping is really, really important, because it's going to allow you to systematically analyze your online marketing and adjust it so that you can increase your online conversions. So the first point that you can use to do this is to tell a success story. As humans, we have an inherent draw towards storytelling, and we use storytelling as a means to connect with others and build that understanding and those social bonds with each other. So this could be your own success story as an attorney, why you got into the business, what drew you towards it. I know a lot of you have personal stories related to that, so tell it. People want to hear it. They want to connect with you on that deeper level, and that's going to help them build that trust in you and you as a firm. Also, this illuminates the importance of social proof, right? So testimonials, you want to utilize those as much as you can. Educate your ideal clients with free content that will help them understand the legal process better. This should be one of your key lead captures because it builds trust and shows your understanding of their situation. So my recommendation would actually be to have 2 lead captures on your website. And then you want to A/B test them. So you want to see which is going to convert more of your leads and if you're going to get more emails on one versus the other. And these should be free pieces of content, like a free ebook or even a free long article about ways that you can help them in their legal process. And of course, I touched on this already, social proof is essential, right? We want to utilize testimonials all along the process mapping of our online marketing campaigns. Another key fact is to use 2-step forms. So for any online forms you have, you should use a 2-step process. The very first form should be really simple and look something like this, right? It should ask just for their name and their email. And then the second form should connect them to a form with more in-depth information. So say you are asking for their address, if they're purchasing anything from you, a credit card number, all of that should be on your second form, not the first one. And that's due to the account of the researched human behavior of leaving forms once you click through due to the amount of information asked. So it has actually been researched that people will abandon the form when they see how much information is asked. So they'll click through to it, but they won't complete it. And so by utilizing this 2-step form process, you're going to be able to build a much more targeted list of people who have actually completed your first form and then abandoned the second. And they can enter your sales funnel in this manner. And don't underestimate the importance of sales calls. So online marketing should really be in conjunction with all of your other forms of marketing that you have going on. And this includes sales and also direct mailers. So we want to be marketed to by a human. Most people are going to prefer that over being marketed to by automation. So even though you want to make sure you have these online marketing methods set up, you also want to add that human touch. So the sales call, when you have people who go through that first form and then abandon the second, you want to build that targeted list, and then you want to call them up and just say, hey, is there anything else we could help you with? We saw that you filled out one of our forms. Do you need any more information from us on how to get through this legal process? And that's going to just build you a much more targeted list. And this one method has actually been proven to increase your conversions by up to 40%. So if you take anything away from this presentation, it's this, and hopefully, utilizing the culture to build your client avatar, because this is going to be really successful for you. Also, you want to utilize direct sales letters to add a personal touch to your online marketing campaigns. So these should work in conjunction with all of the automation you have set up for your online marketing campaigns. So here's an example of a 3-week campaign. So week 1, say you send out 3 emails and your potential clients interact with 2 social posts. Well, then in week 2, you want to actually send out a sales letter asking, hey, did you get our email? Because people like this personal touch, and it's going to reinforce your online marketing efforts and definitely increase your conversions. Week 3, you could send 2 emails saying, hey, did you get our letter? So in this way, you're actually connecting the dots to your marketing, and you're making it much more comprehensive, and it's going to work better together. So method number 3, track the behaviors. So remember, I mentioned online marketing is really all about understanding, predicting, and analyzing human behavior. So this is where the analysis comes in, because sometimes ideal clients or leads are going to act a little differently than you would expect them to. And so by actually analyzing how they are acting in your sales funnel and on your online marketing campaigns, you can adjust them to be more successful and increase your conversions. So how are they responding? Using analytics also gives you your own research base. So I'm really big into research and data, and I think it's really important to use those components in your online marketing. So it's really neat because methods like Google Analytics, they actually give you your own research. So you're not even relying on others for the information. It's right there in your own store. And you're going to be able to tweak the different parts of your sales funnel in accordance to that to increase your online conversions. So you'll be able to see who clicked what, where did they go, what kind of content got consumed the most, and most importantly, where, when, and how did the leads convert. You want to look at the success stories of your online marketing campaigns. You want to see those statistics on what is most successful, and you want to utilize that. You want to take that and run with it, because that's really what is going to increase your online conversions. So Google Analytics is an awesome tool, and I highly recommend that you use this on your websites. It provides systematic tracking of all of these behaviors. So there's a couple different settings that I'm going to go over. One is goal setting in Google Analytics. So this actually allows you to track a certain web page. So say you have an order form or a contact us form, you can actually put that link in Google Analytics and track how it's converting your leads, who's going there, and then also the demographic of your audience. And with goal setting, you could also assign specific monetary value and then see these on a graph in like a statistical report. And that's really neat. Also, you want to utilize unique UTM campaigns. This is huge. So for all of your marketing efforts, be it direct mail, social media, email, online marketing, everything, you can actually create unique UTM links is what they're called. And these are different links that you utilize in all of your marketing copy. So the link that you send on your email campaign is going to look a little different than the one that you put on your direct mailers. And by doing this, you can actually pull up the statistics of the source that your leads came in and get a percentage. So you can see where you're being most successful. And just a caveat to this, direct mail is the one that's a little tough because it's difficult to say whether somebody converted on direct mail. Like you could see, okay, that was the final end result, right? They converted after receiving the sales letter from us because that's the link they put in. But it doesn't account for the fact that they could have seen 20 other aspects of your marketing before they got to that point. So it's important to have this data, but understand that it's a web, right? The customer journey is complex. So analytics, this is analysis funneling. So you can actually see where people are going through your marketing campaign and where they're abandoning and where they aren't, where they're being most successful. And so utilizing these Google Analytics tools is extremely important. It's going to help you analyze the behavior. It's going to help you increase your online conversions. When you use that two-step form process as well, you can even track that and see how successful that's being. And I think that if you really implement these results, you're going to see your success rates skyrocket because you're understanding the behavior, you're predicting it, and then you're looking at how accurate those predictions really are. Thank you.
Okay. So I think the big takeaway here is, I see this all the time, Courtney, is that we as marketers give up way too damn quick. I mean, you really do. I see that all the time. You know, we're doing National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. We do a lot of done-for-you stuff, and Patrick's back there. We created this drip campaign, but it goes on forever. Somebody says, well, how long do you want, how many emails do you send somebody? You keep sending them until they flopped out. You know, because some people take 6 months to a year before they decide to hire a lawyer, and everybody else, this is where you have advantage over all your competition. Everybody's giving up way too quick. They're more worried about, did I send them a letter? Do they know that we don't have an attorney-client, you know, deal so I don't get sued for malpractice? They're more worried about that. What they should be worrying about is keep sending them good, valuable information, videos, you know, checklists, things like that. Keep educating them. You know, and when I was doing it, I always, like after about the first 90 days, I just sent out 2 a month. And it's just checking on you, see how you're doing. If you got any questions, we're still